Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Kaijutopia. I am Tom, and I'm excited because we are going to animate Sonic the Hedgehog. This is going to be the final VFX stream for this Big Damned Heroes versus Big Damned Villains, as I call it, project. So it's been quite the ride. I'm really happy to have been able to share the progress up till this point, and I'm sure this last stream, this last VFX session is going to be one for the books, because there's a reason why I saved Sonic for last. He actually is going to be interacting with the Iron Giant here, as I will demonstrate. Oh, hang on. As I will demonstrate some flaws in handling certain things. We will get to that part in just a second. Until then, right off the bat, we already have some technical issues. I love it. Okay, so the technical problem here appears to be the fact that I use my software through Maxon or Red Giant, and every now and then they reset my whole my license. Perfect timing, as always. We're gonna be seeing that pop up again throughout this stream, I'm sure. But as I was saying, we check out the Iron Giant's shield here, the S shield, kind of like Superman. We can see that it actually spins. And what's going to be happening is Sonic the Hedgehog will actually speed down, and he's the one that's going to be moving that shield. That's one part of the goal. So today's final chapter on this whole project is going to be a doozy, because not only do I have Sonic up here, and he's going to be kind of running down here, moving the S shield, and then he's going to run down and run to the far runoff screen, and then another the same Sonic, the same character, but a separate video file I'll bring up will run back into frame to join the mass, hero ensemble as they defy, the bad guys. So, excuse me, guys. Sorry for my throat. Oh, hey, we got Mittens saying, I might miss it. Sorry, I'm in advance. Have a great day. Thanks, Mittens. No worries, no worries. I hope you have a good day, too. Evan Blue said, hello. Hello, Evan. Good to see you again. I'm just going to get going on this project, as I feel like this is going to be one that's going to... It's going to be a ride. And unlike Sonic the Hedgehog, I do not have super speed. Of course, even if I had super speed, you kind of notice this in some videos where a character who has super speed can, use their powers to, like, say, type really frequently, very fast on the keyboard, right? Or use technology, anything else. But then, using technology in at super levels of speed, and then the question becomes, wait, how can the keyboard possibly keep up? Why didn't it just break down immediately? Does the keyboard have super speed too? I think that's what I was trying to say. Maybe I succeeded, maybe not. It's been one wild day, that's for sure. But hey, if you are interested in more VFX streams, you want to see how I make some of these videos come to life, feel free to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't, because as soon as this project is done, and it's going to take probably another week for me to deliver on that, I'm going to be starting work on Godzilla Apocalypse Now. I cannot wait. Hey, what's up, Gamer Time? Welcome. We're likely going to have less people here tonight. But still, it's a pleasure to have you again. I was just talking about the upcoming project of mine, Godzilla Apocalypse Now. Basically what happens when you let Final Wars Godzilla off the leash, right? He's going to go up against some of the most powerful Toho Godzilla kaiju of all time. Like Destroya, Space Godzilla, you're going to see Gigan thrown in there, and a couple other surprises. Can't really reveal too much, but I can't wait to get started on that. It might be a little bit longer than expected, but kind of expecting to work on this Godzilla movie. It turned September 1st today, so probably within the next couple weeks. It might be there might be like sometime after this current project of mine, the Heroes Villains one, wraps up. And the reason why is I'm still, there are other things going on right now that I'm, that I need to prioritize. And this project is going to be one of those insane, like, okay, I'm probably going to be working on this one for a while. And unlike some of my previous projects, unfortunately, I'm not going to have nearly as much time devoted to it. The reason why this project, despite all the time I've given it, an hour or two a stream, the reason why it's, gone by pretty quickly, if you ask me, is mainly because the movie itself, this isn't going to be a huge project, this current one with Sonic, Iron Giant, all the other heroes and villains. But the Godzilla one will be insane. It will very much likely, I think it's going to take, I would say maybe 2 or 3 months to complete. Now, obviously, if things pick up, then my estimate's wrong, right? Then, okay, we get it sooner than expected. That's great, right? Don't reveal too much. Keep me and the others waiting to see the monsters. See, I try to do just that. There are so many, like, for example, Camera Time. I don't know if you've seen this one project I made a couple years ago. It's called Godzilla, Gamera, Zaton, Giant Monster Brawl. Or maybe Godzilla, Zaton, Gamera, Giant Monster Brawl. You get the idea. It's a video, it's a stop motion project that I'm very proud of. I really love how it turned out. But for the longest time during pre-production and filming, I would share screenshots on the Kaijutopia community YouTube page, and it was usually just Godzilla and Zaton, right? I made it a complete surprise that Gamera was actually in the movie. So if you ever get a chance to watch that movie, and you can even watch the chat, even though there's always a delay with the chat for some reason, when timed right with the video itself, whatever, you can see that there's a big surprise that, like, people were not expecting Gamera to be in the movie, and I take that very seriously. I don't want to reveal all my little all the surprises that I have in store, because I can assure you it's worth it. And I really do like I really personally love being surprised. It's a great feeling. So I don't want to, like, take that away from anyone. So yeah, there will be surprises. A lot of surprises. You will I don't think you're going to be disappointed in what ends up happening. That's for sure. And with that, I can't really reveal Will it be scheduled? Do you mean like will there be like a premiere date scheduled? If so, then yeah, definitely for this one. It's not gonna just be posted, you know, out of the blue. Okay, right now we have Sonic. This is gonna quickly return to the VFX portion of all this because I am supposed to also, okay, maybe not supposed, but I do like explaining. I mean, the whole point of these streams is to kind of like break down just what exactly I'm doing here, and what's happening here is for a little bit here we could see Sonic moving, and check out he's lifting his arm, and then there's motion here. There's stop motion here, and then regular motion there, and we then you know, we have a move over. I kind of like doing it. This may not be, sometimes I feel a little bad doing it this way because the reason why I feel a little bad is because it's not like 100% stop motion. And if this is something that, you know, you might, maybe it's just me. It usually these sort of doubts are just in my head, but personally speaking, I really would love to be able to go all out stop motion, as I did for the Gamera's a Ton monster movie I mentioned a few minutes prior. That's where I actually really did like spend like sometimes from like an hour to 2 hours on some stop motion sequences, and though it was like a lot of work, it was painstaking, I felt, you know, it was very fulfilling. But alas, right now, to be fair, it's just, you know, I'm just trying to save time, and this is one of the best ways to do that. I like how throughout so far the Iron Giant has been waving at us the whole time. Oh, you're such a good guy. Tom, one question. Do Thor's axe and hammer still fight? Referring to that one video. Well, as you can see in the background, they seem to have, you know, gone over, accepted each other's differences and such. Honestly, it's kind of obvious that they were fighting, you know, over me, of course, but cooler heads or cooler hammers seem to have prevailed. Lucky me. Okay, so I'm gonna reduce the part where I'm recording Sonic kind of shifting over here. I increase the speed, which is kind of funny because he's Sonic the Hedgehog. Do have to be careful with my resolution though, because I don't know, Adobe After Effects has been behaving weird lately. I don't know what it is, but it does feel like they have some bugs to work out. I don't know, they should consider hiring some more software engineers like moi. Don't clip that, that's gonna come back. Oh god. I need to stop pretending like I'm funny. There's nothing worse in the world than somebody who thinks they're so damn funny and they keep cracking jokes that only they think, that only they laugh at, right? So let's talk Sonic the Hedgehog. So I played the games, you know, as a kid, back when they were first coming out. They were fun, you know, running around, collecting rings and fighting bad guys like Eggman and all that, or Dr. Robotnik. And you know, even though I like the games, I never would have considered myself to be like a Sonic fan. I was a Seattle Sonics fan. Come on, NBA, bring him back. But I was not into Sonic the Hedgehog nearly as much. But the reason why he made the cut for this team is because I really loved the Sonic the Hedgehog movies that have come out recently. The ones, you know, with Jim Carrey in them. I was not expecting to like them, which is, you know, I'm sure I'm not alone. Let's just cut that out. Sorry, just deleting something that I thought I had already deleted. I was not expecting to like the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, and you know, that's even before well, that we're not even getting into the whole original terrible Sonic design that he had for the movie before the huge outcry from the fans and such. Like, I don't, I'm not gonna get into that too much. I mean, the design again wasn't that good, but I kind of felt like the movie itself wasn't really gonna do that well anyway. That makes sense. Ooh. Ah, I see. But the movies pleasantly surprised me. I really ended up liking them, and part of the reason why is because they owned what they were. Like, they knew what kind of movie they wanted to be, and there was no shame involved. It's not like they were like, oh, what if, you know, what if people don't like this movie? What if they don't like the fact that there's a Sonic the Hedgehog, you know, not just a hedgehog that could talk, right? But like, what if they don't like really like the fact that he has superpowers and also is cracking jokes, and like, come on, it's totally cool because that's Sonic the Hedgehog, right? That's who the character is, and that it was. I as much as I liked the first movie, the second movie turned out to be pretty good too. In fact, I liked the second movie even better for, well, a variety of reasons, but I'll just say Idris Elba being Knuckles, perfect casting. Or, sorry, Idris Elba. Of course, Jim Carrey again, always a win. Mittens is probably not here. He mentioned at the very beginning he likely will not be able to join us. I don't know. What are we, Gamer Time? What are we without you know, our Mittens cat underlord? What will become of us? Time stretch. Bring that down again. Here we go. Yeah, I actually watched clips of I think especially the first movie before finally seeing it, because I still was kind of on the fence about, you know, will I end up liking this movie? It's hard to say. Let's see now. You think Mittens is our main antagonist? Oh boy. I guess you could say the cat is out of the bag. Yeah. I'm also pretty sure Mittens mentioned that he likes Sonic, so. Mittens, if you're watching this from the future, and I'm correct there, feel free to talk about, of course, your favorite Sonic games, did you like the movies? Enlighten us with your Sonic the Hedgehog knowledge. Oh, I deleted some stuff here I was not supposed to. Hang on. Hate it when that happens. Oh boy. Okay, I think we're reaching the end of this first Sonic, at least just getting everything in order here. Still far from done. Whew. This does take a lot out of you. Still waiting for another reason why the Godzilla project, Godzilla Apocalypse Now, might take a little bit longer than usual is because I don't know how long this heat wave in my area is going to last. I mean, if the last couple summers, falls have been any indication, it could be here for most of September and possibly early October, which is insane. So it's kind of hard for me to work in here in my office because, well, the homes here in the Pacific Northwest were designed to insulate heat, which is cool during the winter, spring, fall, you know, that's cool. But, you know, literally kind of cool, but not, maybe not literally, figuratively cool. Whatever the hell I'm trying to say. But of course now, you know, when it's particularly hot, it can be not a cool thing at all. So yeah, there it is. Nailed it. As you can see, I am struggling to finish coherent sentences. It's gonna be one of those streams, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry, not sorry. It's just gonna be kind of at times awkward for you guys, not for me. I mean, y'all are choosing to stick around to hear all this, so it's not my fault. Duh. Okay, so right now my goal is to match things up a little bit. What I'm gonna do is bring the Iron Giant back. What I want to do is just figure out when his shield begins to, and this, okay, so we see his arms, Sonic's arms come down here. This is gonna be the part where he's moving the shield, you know, bringing it down with his hands, and it starts right here. So what we want to do, we're just gonna have to time things. All right, huh? So I guess I'll just throw them out there. So Who, like, what kind of heroes and villains? If I do another Big Damned Heroes, Villains sort of face off, maybe an actual battle someday, you know, an all out brawl between all these characters. If you need a reminder, and it looks like only Gamer Time's really here, so I'll just talk to you. But of course, if there's anybody watching this, you know, and you, oh, man, my son's trying to break into the house, my room. If anybody wants to throw out suggestions, like what kind of heroes or villains would you guys like to see in a future installment? You know, one of these days, my son is just gonna break down that door. He's like 2.5, but he's already like, he's so big. I saw a movie Sonic, so I had to click. Mr. Cool, thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, we were a few minutes ago talking about the movies. Well, I guess Gamer Time here didn't see them, but I actually really turned out to enjoy them, especially the second Sonic movie. It was really good. Yeah, I was just asking everybody if you would like to, what kind of heroes or villains would you like to see in future installments? Because I had a blast with this, and there's so many heroes and villains that kind of were left either on the cutting room floor, or I had originally made a list of all these villains and heroes, but then realized there's no way in the time block I'm giving myself will I be able to do this. So, like, for example, I really wanted to have, like, Cloud, Strife from Final Fantasy be in here. Omegamon from Digimon, I wanted to make an appearance. And, of course, I thought about having Gypsy Danger from Pacific Rim, but figured, oh, I already have Iron Giant, so that should be okay, but, And then, of course, Sephiroth from Final Fantasy as well. Skeletor from He-Man, Emotep from the Mummy series I really wanted to include as well. Oh man, my kid almost just broke in. He's so close. He almost made it. I liked both of them. I never really understood the appeal of movie 2 until I rewatched it. But yeah, they're great. Movie 2 was quite one thing that I mean, the first movie kind of still, I feel like the second movie expanded upon this, but both movies, what I really respect is the fact that they just they committed themselves to the source material, right? They knew this is, you know, there's the best way to make these movies is by, you know, honoring the Sonic the Hedgehog character, right? Actually being true to the character, to the mythos, and just like full on running with it. I mean, you have a talking hedgehog from like another dimension, and then of course there's Tails, right? And Knuckles, and you have all this. In the end, there's even a giant freaking robot. I mean, none of this makes sense, but the movie just kind of like runs with it. And it's like, it even briefly acknowledges, yeah, this is kind of silly, but so what? We're just cool anyway. And it actually had a lot of good heart to it too. Sonic and the sheriff, I forget his full name, I forget the guy, I know he's played by James Marsden. Their connection and character arcs respectively actually was really quite good. So yeah, 2 great movies. I really hope we get a third, and I hope Jim Carrey reprises his role as Dr. Robotnik, mainly due to the fact I'm saying that because Jim Carrey like announced, I guess shortly after the second Sonic movie, that he was thinking of like retiring, which, you know, it's like, hey man, good for you. If you want to retire, it's great. You have a great filmography, right? You have a great career. Could you please come back just one more time for the third Sonic movie, or the fourth, whichever? I mean, come on. Okay, so I think this animation, this part is pretty good. So now the next step is, and I think I got the timing down just right as well. Oh, by the way, Mr. Cool, not sure if you are familiar with my channel, but right now I'm doing a VFX stream for like a sort of fan film, I guess you could call it, a superhero ensemble of all these characters from across across the multiverse and stuff. And this is just me breaking down my movie making secrets. Sonic Iron Hedgehog is what I'm going to call this because he's right next to the Iron Giant. Oh yeah, I saw the third. I saw the end scene, the end credit scene. I hope we get a third movie. I only say that mainly because nowadays it's kind of hard to tell, because even if a movie might seem to do well, I mean, I think a third movie has already been technically announced, right? It's already been greenlit, but I don't know. I've seen so many movies and TV shows burned, you know, despite being successes. I'm gonna go into this. Alright, so what I'm gonna do now is cut around Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay. So, let's see where I'm at here. This is going to be a little tricky because he moves. I turn him around here, so I might have to adjust a couple of the mask. Oh yeah, definitely right there. Okay, so this is like the only time where that's necessary. A Knuckles series also got announced. Sweet. I mean, that's obviously due to Idris Elba, who's pretty much a god amongst men. So, Knuckles was so funny in that movie. Nice animation. Ah, thank you, Gamer Time. It's turning out pretty good so far. We're gonna see how I get him to interact with yeah, Iron Giant's Superman shield here in just a sec. Still betting you guys never knew you'd see this sort of lineup of characters, but you know, it's kind of a glimpse into how my strange brain thinks. Other people might wake up and be like, I need to do something productive with my life. Perhaps I need to go pursue an amazing new career, or perhaps I should, you know, do chores and keep the home secured and clean, or maybe I should, you know, check my finances, yada yada. But what do? I wake up and I go, you know, it'd be really cool to see the Iron Giant, Sonic the Hedgehog, Vegeta, Mewtwo, Master Chief, you know, all these guys cross over. It would just be amazing. It should totally happen. wanted to do. I mean, technically I could try and cover some bits here, but it's just kind of me being a little picky. Mittens has made it. Welcome, Mittens. You were missed. We were beginning to wonder what would become of us. What would our lives be without you, without our underlord? Yeah. Alright, so I think we're pretty much almost good on this part. Mittens, my memory is not the most reliable thing in the world, but if I recall correctly, I think you're a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog? Alright, cool. This worked out. Burning Gajira Productions, welcome. More like Sonic says, that's no typo. Eh? Very epic animation. Thank you so much. Well, Mittens, thank you for joining us, bud. Take care. Probably a little faster right here. So, would you guys like to be in on a little technical error, like a big mistake yours truly just made, or didn't know he had made until seeing it now? I'm gonna let this part play out. You guys tell me if you notice it. I mean, it's one thing to notice the mistake, it's another to actually care, right? Check this out. I'm gonna show it again just to see. No legs moving, that's one thing, yeah, that's true. But I want you guys to look at the shield. The legs, I knew I should have moved more, but again, I'm pressed for time, not just for the stop motion phase, but for like the VFX phase, like now. But take a look at something. Look at how Sonic is moving his arms, because he's the one that's supposed to be spinning the S shield, right? I kind of, it's kind of funny because it's a little ridiculous. I really should have realized this. I'll say what it is in just a second. Okay, so we see Sonic's arms move down because he's moving the S shield. But instead of the S shield moving down, the S shield kind of moves in the opposite direction of his arms. It's almost like the S shield is either moving away, or as when you grab something and you're bringing it down, it goes, you know, with you, right? In this case, the shield is supposed to come down counterclockwise instead of it's moving clockwise. Oh man, that's a mistake. Yeah, super speeds. Sonic is fast, so use that excuse. Yeah, thank you, Burning Gajira. Yeah, that's it. Man. Now, if this were a big project of mine, like, again, I'm gonna just drop. The next project after this will be a big project. It will be a lot bigger than this. I'm going back to Godzilla because, you know, that's what the channel's mainly about, right? Godzilla, Kaiju. It's gonna be Godzilla it's called Godzilla Apocalypse Now. Godzilla's taking on, like, Destroya, Space Godzilla, and a bunch of other, you know, powerful monsters, and the Godzilla in question will be the Final Wars Godzilla. But if I made a mistake like this in that project, yeah, I would go back and just animate the whole thing. Now, the Iron Giant animation is the most complex, right? This one, despite how minuscule of an effort I guess I have given for the stop motion phase, and though, yeah, these VFX streams have been great, an hour and a half, that might seem like a long time to do this, but it's really not that long, at least not what I'm used to. It's kind of like a stroll through the park in a way. But like, I would definitely go back and have to redo it. And if I were to go back and redo Sonic's stop motion, it would have to be Sonic. Hi, Logan. Hi, Bubba.
Say hi.
Hi.
Come here. Let's say hi. Bye to Dad. Sorry, I wasn't fast enough.
So yeah, that was the director, the one in charge. He's just checking in on my progress. You know, us motion graphic artists, we're pretty much yeah, we're ran into the ground. We have long hours. We don't get paid nearly enough. I mean, on a realistic, real world, I won't try and go on a tangent, but for real, VFX artists deserve better recognition, especially in Hollywood. Anyway, that was a great interruption, possible segue into a more serious topic, but perhaps that's best for another day. Gamera, okay, we need Gamera. Gamera kills Godzilla. Yeah, I mean, that would be a good fight. I have thought about doing a Godzilla Gamera stop motion in the past. I kind of feel like that's something, Godzilla Gamera, that's like the first kaiju fan film that I feel like that's what everyone has done, at least by now. I kind of haven't really been that interested in doing one with my own style, but if I ever were to do a Godzilla Gamera battle, you know, a stop motion little flick, it would be like, I'd probably pit, it would be GMK Godzilla against maybe Gamera from, well, the only Heisei Gamera I have is the one from Gamera 2. I do not have the Gamera 3 figure, but that would be my choice if I had to pick. I'm surprised nobody has said any Sonic Says lines. I mean, that's what you're here for, Burning. Come on, enlighten us. Alright, so I need to accept the fact that I clearly messed up here. So I'm just gonna leave it as is. I do see a slight little thing I want to revise. And I'm gonna have to probably redo that mask I did earlier. Hopefully it won't be too hard. I mean, I could use show a camera. I mean, I've used the Sci-Fi Revoltech camera in a stop motion project before. I talked about my Godzilla Satan camera movie I made a while back, and that camera that was feasible. I thought it worked out pretty good. So, but I don't know. I kind of feel like if I were to have, you know, if I'm using GMK Godzilla, then obviously I need to use Heisei camera. You can see right there I just stopped talking because my attention went elsewhere. Man, I gotta admit, like, my attention span, man, it's not always the greatest, right? Don't answer that question, guys. Just leave it be. Just leave it be. The only problem is size. The Revoltech is way too small. Ah, this is a good thing to point out. That's true. However, I very rarely have my figures, my action figures in these sort of movies sharing the same screen, like at least during filming. Since I usually do all my stop motions in front of a green screen, that means I can actually take a smaller figure and have them, I can just either, the way I can angle the camera, I can make them look a lot bigger, or just digitally increase their size. Like I made Sonic here smaller, for example. So this is kind of what I did with the Godzilla vs. Legion movie I made a few years ago as well. The Legion figure I used was the Sci-Fi Revoltech one as well, if I'm not mistaken. And she went up against the 2019 Godzilla Monsterverse SH Monster Arts, and that figure is way bigger than the Legion figure. But at the same time, in that movie, if you guys have seen that movie before, and I really hope you guys have seen Godzilla vs. Legion. It's one of my, I feel like it's one of my best ones. Legion is way bigger than that Godzilla. So, excellent thing to point out, Burning Gojira. Usually, yes, if I were to, I mean, even if I had both characters share the same, I guess, studio, the same stage, and there are ways you can, you know, line them up, maybe have the larger figure further in the background in order to make it look like they are of similar size. But for me, it's just easier to film them all separately in front of a green screen or blue screen, and then digitally place them into the same scene. And if you did your stop motion correctly, you got your timing down, you can make it all sync up pretty good. And of course with some editing tricks. Like for example, you see what's happening here on screen. I'm going to show you how I'm going to at least attempt to have it look like Sonic is moving the shield. I mean, even though, yeah, I goofed, I messed up on the direction of the shield spinning and, you know, Sonic moving his hands, but I'm still going to make it look like Sonic is actually physically touching the Iron Giant here. But just keep in mind, they never actually did. They were all shot separate. Hey Tom, remembering how Godzilla vs. Biollante, after Godzilla defeats Biollante, he literally just falls down. Godzilla, oh my back! I think I just need a rest. Yes. I'm sure that is exactly what he was saying. Let's see, I love how the Revotech camera is way smaller than the SH Monster Arts one and has more articulation. That's true, it definitely has way more articulation. Guys, you need to help spread the word of Kaijutopia. You need to go out and be kind of like my messengers, my missionaries, because you can go out there and spread the good word of Kaijutopia, the stop motions, the incredible kaiju animations that I make. And the reason why is because imagine like these big named toy companies starting to create amazing action figures just to be used in stop motions. You know, the toy designers are like, oh man, we got to make the articulation for this figure awesome. The reason why is because we know eventually Kaijutopia is going to make, you know, use this in a stop motion. It's going to look awesome. But not just Kaijutopia. I know a number of you in the chat are stop motion enthusiasts. You guys make your own projects too. It's going to spread. We're going to like create a whole new generation of stop motion artists. 2K subs. This guy needs more than 50K subs. That's what I thought when I first found your channel. Yeah. You know, it would of course be awesome to have 50,000 subs, but you know, it's again, I'm pretty fortunate to have, you know, the subscribers I have now. As I like to say, it's quality over quantity, guys. But seriously, spread the word. Alright, so right here, whoosh. So I think right here I'm gonna have Sonic once again start moving. And I think I can have him like right down here. Gosh, he looks so tiny, but then again, he is next to the Iron Giant. And that actually might be where that first Sonic animation ends. Alright, so we're having Sonic. You'll notice he still is all green screen. I'll take care of that in just a second. Just trying to make sure I get all this stuff done first. Okay, so this part's great. You'll notice though that I kind of still want him to like actually run, his feet actually match where the Iron Giant kind of is. Maybe I just have him like right there instead. So he kind of hops down. Whoosh. Gosh, he's so fast. Who would have thought Sonic the Hedgehog would be fast? Tom deserves more subs. He deserves more. The quality of his stop motions are amazing. I really appreciate that. You know, I'm still gonna keep making these projects because first, I enjoy them. I really enjoy making these projects, and I'm really happy that you guys enjoy them as well. Alright, let's go and take care of that green screen. To those of you who don't know, I use Red Giant, or what are they called again? They were bought over by Maxon. So I use Red Giant software in this case to eliminate, say, the green screen. But of course, they do this thing every month or two where, you know, they just sign you out, and you gotta go through the whole process of signing back in. And if you've already been editing using their stuff up till now, you gotta do the license thing over again. So that might happen throughout the stream. Just an FYI, it is not cool, of course. Why is this? Does anyone remember Dr. Schlong? You know, it'd be hilarious if everybody went, no, what are you talking about? Dr. Schlong? Dude, what are you talking about? But I ruined it already, so. All right. Let's take a look at eliminating Sonic's green screen here. Now, for some reason, it didn't do an auto. It didn't auto delete it. It's so weird. Let's reset that because that was very awkward. Maybe that's been taken care of now. Let's try this again. Oh, the green screen part sometimes is not this this time consuming. Oh my gosh. Oh, figures. Guess Red Giant had an update that wasn't a good update. Alright. This might take a little bit longer. Let's see how we are for time. We're already at an hour. Oh boy. Oh boy, we are at an hour. I really gotta pick up the pace. I will give myself, let's say, another 30 minutes. Maybe I'll push it, depending, but we gotta go. We gotta move. Wow, that was a lot of motion blur right there. Alright, I need to remove Sonic, Iron Giant here for a second and just see Sonic. It's funny because it looks like he's flying. gosh, this is hideous. It's, right as I jinxed myself right as I'm like, we need to move quickly. What did I do? As soon as I said that, the After Effects gods were like, how dare you? We're now going to complicate things further. Alright, so the green screen looks pretty good. Even though Sonic now looks like he's kind of like Superman, which is funny because he kind of became like Superman, or a bit more like a Super Saiyan in the second, you know, with the Super Sonic. Yeah, I know, there. Spoiler to anyone who hasn't seen the second Sonic movie. Kind of established that there will be spoilers here, but yes. Super Sonic is awesome, or Super Saiyan Sonic is awesome. Okay, so the next part now is what we're going to do is we're going to bring the Iron Giant back in. And I am going to make an adjustment layer here in just a second. And really the only part that I feel like I just have to do is make an adjustment layer around the Iron Giant's shield. You'll see why in just a second. Okay, let's bring up that adjustment layer. For a second, we're going to adjust. So when Sonic comes down, I don't like the fact that both of his hands are suddenly in front of, you know, the shield. So what I'm going to do is, this part might be a little unnecessary, but I'm just gonna take this adjustment layer and cut a mask all around the shield, and an exception can be made of Sonic's, at least his right arm. So here's what I'm talking about. So, there it is. Okay, so I took that mask and I inverted the mat. So now we see Sonic mostly behind it, but we can now see his right hand looking like he's actually touching the Iron Giant's shield. And we're going to be moving it down here in just a second. And I think the only thing I'm going to do for now is to see where hang on, I'm kind of sinking myself down a little bit here. There we go. That might be a bit too much feather. Oh yeah, there's going to be a couple things I'm missing here already. Okay, good. So far, so good. Things are going in the correct order. That's nice. Oh boy. Hey guys, it's one of those things where like this attention to detail is going to be one of those blink and you're going to miss it. I can already tell this is going to be something that most people are probably not going to, well, they might see, especially if I like take another shot or a close-up of this part, so you know it's more obvious. But yeah, it's kind of one of those, I'm doing this mainly for you guys. You know, you guys get to be more in the know than anybody else, so that when this project actually does come out and I share it with the rest of the world, you guys are gonna be like Kaijutopia's chosen, right? You're gonna know, hey man, we were there. We saw this get made. We know the secrets. We know how this was actually done, and it's awesome. Okay, just right here. So if you want to know more about the little details, because I've talked about this in previous streams, where as a VFX artist you want to actually, it's one thing to have attention to detail or Easter eggs here. A lot of my projects are full of Easter eggs, many of which I've never really shared. It's really something for you to discover for yourself. Some of them I will share, you know, in the future, but I have said in the past, you gotta know your battles, you gotta know exactly what you want to animate, because as a VFX artist, you want your work to be seen, right? You want to be part of the detail, you want to be able to provide context to the story. You don't want to add something that nobody, like the vast, like 99.99% of the audience is never going to see, even if you know, it defeats the purpose for, you know, VFX artists to have to like go see this thing that happened for a brief second in a huge shop full of VFX. Notice that detail, huh? You know, you don't. What I'm trying to say is, if you're making a similar project, you don't want to have to like overdo it. You don't want to have to like go over detail of every tiny minuscule thing, because you always have to ask yourself, is what I'm doing going to be perceived? Is this something that most in your audience is going to pick up on? And you know, there's a lot of things happening at once. I mean, it's not like every single thing has to be acknowledged in some way. However, it would still be nice. But hey, that's what you know, that's why you want to make a video that your fans are going to want to rewatch over and over again. But as far as details go, and I've shown huge attention to detail, and especially in previous projects. Not this one. This one, I admit, I've been a little bit more laid back and chill. I kind of slacked on this one. But I'm hoping within the next couple weeks to start a new sort of series where I'm going to, it's like a creator commentary. I'm going to be going through my earlier projects, and then eventually my more recent ones, where I'm going to watch it, and they're going to be kind of like director commentaries, only I'm going to be, you know, you're going to be able to see my expressions. I'm going to react to them live, and be able to go into great detail about how certain scenes were made, and maybe provide some cool behind the scenes photos, maybe the storyboards, the scripts, just explaining a bit more about where we were going with this. But that's something to look forward to, and I hope you guys end up liking those videos, because they're going to be kind of exciting. I gotta go. Bye, man. Have a good day or night. Good luck finishing. It's looking amazing so far. Burning Gajira Productions, thank you, and it's always a pleasure to have you with us, man. Take good care. Monstrosities, Matt. Sweet, a Tom stream. Hey, man. I just want to say, Matt, congratulations on 10 years of Monstrosities. That's it's been great to watch your channel. It's, you know, it's grown considerably. I think I started really getting into your videos within the last couple years, and it still amazes me just how more and more polished they've become. So good to have you with us, and thank you so much for joining us tonight, Matt. It means a lot. Okay. Let's see. All right. Yeah. I mean it, man. Your videos are pretty inspiring. Every time I like check out and see like I might be one of the few. I don't know. Maybe I'm not, but I really enjoy watching how like I will watch the start of your like how you have promotional material at the beginning of your videos, and I'll like stop and just like try and take notes, like editing notes, like how did he do that? Oh, that was a cool shot. That was like I can both appreciate your material and the time you put into it, because I know you do a ton of research, but I also like to like stop and break down like, okay, how did he edit this? Because as I understand it, you're I think you edit full time, right Matt? Like I think you mentioned that you're a video editor, a professional one, and it shows. If you're free later this month, would love to get you on one of the Unwind streams. Absolutely. I hope. I mean, geez, you've been kind enough to invite me in the past, Matt, and every time I'm like, am I gonna have to end up denying you 3 times? But no, I really want to. So, yeah, definitely keep me posted on that, and I will make time for it. Alright, I think this part's nearly done. We got Sonic here. Speeds off. And of course the Iron Giant's like, what? What just happened? I have a life and a family, so no big deal at all. Well, you missed it earlier, man. Speaking of my family, my son, he's like 2.5. He's like a little kaiju toddler, nearly broke into my office and almost went on a rampage. So, fortunately, I actually have one of those baby gates like up. So even if you manage to get through my door, you know, you still have to go through that. So the defense is held for now. But my wife was able to stop him from possibly breaching that defense. But that would have made for great content, not gonna lie. That would have been cool. Not cool. This place is like not baby proof. I really should try harder to make this place baby proof, but I don't know, man. You guys have never seen it, but like right before you come into my office over here, I do have kind of like "you are entering the man cave" kind of sign. So I don't know if that makes sense. Maybe that's why I don't baby proof the man cave, because it's the man cave. I mean, you don't. It's gotta be it's got to be all, you know, this is my domain. This is where I exist. I have to make it so that everything, like my cool expensive action figures and collectibles, are like right there for me. And you know, if maybe it's in my best interest to make sure that my certain kaiju toddler doesn't grab them and destroy them. So I guess, okay, in real time you guys just watched me like totally like out logic myself and go, okay, well maybe I should baby proof this place. It's probably in my best interest. Oh man, that's great. Son of Kaijutopia, the story of a toddler laying waste to a sparkling collection. You're not wrong. Level 1 door. Level 1 door boss battle, the gates. Gamer time, you're on point, yes. Man, don't underestimate those gates though, like. Okay, so when we were getting ready to have our kid, and then of course post, you know, delivery of said child, bringing said child into the world, I like went and bought a lot of stuff to baby proof the house, right? Amazon shipping galore, right? But most of what I ended up buying was not really good. Like, it was, some of it wasn't even, it's not like all of it was cheap or anything, so you get what you paid for. It's more like, no, you underestimated the baby's power. Like, kids, my son still is the reason why this kid is hard to grapple with, or like, let's say he grabs like a fork and you're like, oh crap, you know, give me the fork quickly, don't do something stupid with it. The reason why it can be really difficult to take it out of his hands is because, you know, you're an adult, you know your strength, and you're trying to like not hurt him. But this kid goes like 100% every time. So the poor baby, anything that I got to baby proof the place, that kid went at full power. It was like a kaiju unleashed. He just didn't show any mercy to our stuff. I'll just say it. I'll just end with that. Whoa, gamer time. Whoa, slow down there. Your kid runs around in your room as fast as Sonic, it seemed. He knocked down your $200 Ghidorah and $200 This is where I went slow down. Then whoa. Jokes aside, I am in the middle of like bringing these action figures to life, so we don't really want to talk about, I mean, they can hear you, right? I mean, we don't want to talk about destroying them. That would just not be cool. But no, seriously, that's a good reason that yeah, gamer time, that's a good enough reason to seriously baby proof the hell out of my office right now. So something like that does not happen. All right, I think we're good now to combine my Sonic and this adjustment layer together. Sonic runs is what I'll just call this one for now. And there might be a point where I haven't decided yet on how I'm going to actually do the Sonic animation when he runs. I'm going to add electricity here soon. Oh gosh, we're like, what, hour 20? Man. Okay, might be able to make it. Are you a big fan of the movie Iron Giant, Tom? Oh, absolutely. The Iron Giant is one of my favorites. I love this movie growing up, and even, you know, it's one of those things where you see a movie as a kid, you love it, you know, you have your reasons for loving it then, but when you see a movie that you loved as a kid but you love it as an adult, it's different. You love it for different reasons. You see things that you did not really understand as a kid, or you didn't really appreciate, or maybe it just went over your head, but The Iron Giant as a movie, it has a lot of heart. It's really one of those stories that, I feel like every character in that film is special. Like, they have their own personality, their own distinct personality. You understand who they are and what their motives are and what they're trying to do. And of course, the Iron Giant himself has personality as well. So I love the animation. I love the direction. I mean, it was directed by Brad Bird, who's a pretty damn good filmmaker, storyteller. But yeah, it's the Iron Giant has always been one of my favorite movies, and it was so exciting to be able to do a stop motion with him for this. Alright, so he does that. Okay, let's work out how we're gonna do this. Okay, I'm going to duplicate my Sonic runs. And I think what I'm gonna do, maybe rename this Esron Glow so we know it's all about he's emitting some sort of energy as he runs. And before we get too serious here, let's see. Interesting, right? See all the points for down. Okay, that should be fine for now. Okay, let's see what I'm gonna do with this. I haven't really thought too much about how I'm going to do this animation. Maybe we might see the first glimpse of, yeah, there it is. Thought that would happen. Gotta prove my licensing here. There we go. Alright. Approved. It kind of has this bluish glow when he runs, and then not too bright. I'm gonna adjust the opacity here so like it doesn't immediately start with, Sonic is glowing. Only after he starts running, and then comes to a stop, that's when the glowing will stop too. Okay, let's see what else we got. Okay, so Sonic activates it. That's looking good. There's something else I thought about doing just now. Let's see if I can do that. Kind of like a delay here. Like an after image of sorts. Okay, that looked pretty cool. Maybe make this less. One day I will master the art of how to like multitask. Yeah, multitask first and foremost. But I will also one day master the art of being able to explain what exactly I'm doing and why as I'm doing it. So in this shot, we see Sonic goes into his super speed, right? And I've made 2 additional duplicate layers of the glow effect, each with a lower opacity than the one before. And these are the after images. It's kind of something that happens whenever characters tend to be, you know, moving at super speed. And every now and then you will hear me make sound effects. Whoosh, whoosh. Because I am a special person. It is what I do. Alright, so Sonic is about to activate. There he goes. Alright, so we're going to repeat that process from before. This could be like let's bring this to a quarter speed, so again it's always my poor computer. Just quite literally if there's ever a machine rebellion, I could see why, you know. What happens when the robots rise and take over the Earth? Well, first off, they're going to come after the motion graphic artists. That's for sure. So, like, totally you're welcome, guys, for being the first line of defense against Skynet. Hey, good night, Gamer Time. Thank you so much for being here, man. Appreciate it. Hope you have a good rest of your night, and I'll catch you later, man. after images. Oh man. Whew. Gotta admit, I kind of want to call it, but you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. There is still, like, this is still, I'm still halfway through this, because there's like a second Sonic animation I'm planning on doing. It's more of a, so far Sonic has been, you know, in the background chilling with the Iron Giant. Soon though, there's going to be a second one where he runs up, which that's what he's doing right now. He's going to run off screen and then reappear, but closer to us. And that's where he's going to take his place amongst, you know, this heroes lineup. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to that point. So what I'm going to do is wrap this part up, add some cool little electrical effect just to show, you know, I mean business. And then I think we're going to call it. This is still going to be the final VFX stream for this project. I mean, obviously there will be plenty of more VFX streams in the future, but this is, I think, where we're gonna call it, unless, I don't know, we'll see if I have a change of heart, but for now, this is, I think it's gonna end up being for the best. Let me add a Sonic after image here. Runs after image. Cool, okay. That does look pretty cool. So, like, another thing that I could probably add is as soon as he, like, runs, of course, there's some, like, dust or something that he, like, kicks up in his wake as he's running. So that's another thing I'm gonna have to add. I'm already thinking, you know what? When I put my son down for nap time tomorrow, I could work on this a little bit more, right? Okay, so there's Sonic, he's chilling, comes down, moves the shield, runs off screen, and of course later he's going to come back. Alright, so to make this work, let's see what we got. Alright, and of course the giant does have a couple animations here. I should check to make sure that there's no... Yeah, we're good on that end. Let's... Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is add some electricity, and then we can add some dust at the end, and then we can call it, because this is turning out to be good, but unfortunately I don't think I have the energy, the mindset to go another hour and a half. There will be streams where I'm sure I have that in me, right? But as of right now, I think this is pretty good for what it is. So let's see what I got in my VFX arsenal. I do have to later go through and just make sure I have to reactivate all the licenses I have for some of these VFX plugins. Okay, so we have a couple electrical ones here that are pretty cool. That's a cool one. Alright, let's try this right here. Oh yeah, that's freaking huge. Gotta head out for tonight, Tom, but thanks a lot for doing these streams. They're relaxing and it's always amazing to watch a master work. A master? I don't know where's this master you speak of, Matt? Still, I very much appreciate you being here as well, man. I can't thank you enough for all the work that you do, Matt. And yeah, keep it up. Thank you for coming, and I hope you have a great rest of your night. Oh, that might be a bit too excessive. There, let's see. Oh, that looked cool. Just needs to be a little bit less. All right, geez, that looked pretty good for what it was. Wow. Try this effect next. Alright, let's flip this around. We're gonna have to decrease the size of the lighting here. Probably get the shape down. Oh wow, that's a lot. Okay, that's all right. The problem here is the lighting also needs to its opacity shrunk a bit because it's a bit much. Looks fine. All right, so this is I need to adjust the time for this slightly. Okay, and then we're at one more. Okay, cool. We got our last one. Alright. Sonic electricity. Alright. I think we're almost good here. And I just need some dust, something that indicates that Sonic is landing, you know. Oh, this is going to be a fun one. Okay, that was good too. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in these two. It's probably one of my favorite graphics that I have with me here. And then these ones as well. Cool. We'll even mix it up a bit. Okay, so Sonic lands and it's gonna kick up some dirt, some little dust here, some debris. A little bit much. Let's see. I think I'm going to put it right there. Awesome. So now we see that Sonic hits and when he's running across the rocks, he actually makes the train react accordingly. There just needs to be like one more. I can just reuse one that I've done before. Of course, what you want to do too, since these are rocks, they're leaving debris I want to freeze on the last frame, so you know the rock debris that's lying on the ground doesn't just disappear. Something that mistakes I have learned from previous projects. Okay. Okay, so we can also call this like sonic debris so we know what it is. Or more accurately, who's triggering it. We're gonna add a quick little camera lens blur as well, so it's not perfectly like highly detailed. It sometimes can be very distracting. Alright, so there's Sonic. He comes down, flies off. That's great. Let's bring in the whole cast here for a second. We're gonna see everybody. We're gonna see what we've done today and how it all relates. Now, I have to warn you, there will be license yada yada issues. I'm gonna do that quickly, and then I am going to let's just bring everything up now. Alright, so we got that VFX suite that I gotta adjust. Licensing for that one. That's good. I love it when we have to redo everything. Oh, was that it? That's surprising. Alright, so we start with the wall. It's going to be brought down by Mewtwo. And of course Mewtwo is all like, yo, you guys are up to no good. But I brought friends, you see. It's quite the lineup. So some of what we just worked on is going to be obscured, and it's kind of a callback to what I talked about earlier, how when you're a VFX artist, make sure what you're doing isn't going to be for nothing. Like if you're going to put in the extra time for some extra detail, make sure that it's not something that's going to be obstructed from view. Make sure it's something that your viewer is going to be able to see, because now the detail that I added to the ground, for example, with the ground debris, the lightning, it's going to be hard really to see it, but I've added it here anyway because there's always a chance that I can like make different versions of this shot. Like I can like render this whole, you know, with all the heroes sharing the same screen. I can render this pretty good. But maybe I want to render it again, this time just showing Sonic and the Iron Giant, and just remove everyone else. That's also an option. That's something that I can do if I want to make this project that's already like maybe 28 seconds long and increase it maybe to a minute. I could do something like that. So my options are open at least. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you like what you see, if you like these VFX streams, make sure you like and subscribe so you can see more. And I appreciate you all, and thank you so much, and I wish you guys a good night, a good evening, or a good morning, or a good afternoon, depending on when you're watching this. So